Hi-ho, everybody. Here we are again. Fido Kennington, he's Powie. And welcome to Hey Man, nice kiss shirt. All right, let's talk about these shirts. What do you got for us, Powie?
This is the farewell tour, the original farewell tour, 2000. And this was from, two people gave me the exact same shirt. Pat Archer gave me this shirt from going to see him in San Diego, and Lori Massey gave me one when she saw him in North Carolina on the final tour with Ace and Peter anyway.
And mine, I'm still trying to go chronologically.
He's going chronologically.
So last week was Hot in the Shade. And this one is the Alive Worldwide reunion tour. I'll throw up a graphic, but Kiss destroys Tiger Stadium. Eventually, I think I might do an episode that's all about that fateful day. But for now, that's just how we do. Hey man, nice kiss shirt. What do we do here every week? We dig into rock and roll all night and journal every day.
A year-long guide to celebrating the fun of being a Kiss fan.
Yes. Thank you. It's all for you, Demon, for this fabulous book. If you don't have a copy, go to Amazon, pick it up. Go over to It's All For You, Demon on YouTube. Check out Rick's channel. It's amazing. And we're going to get into it.
He's a great guy.
He is.
I don't even know.
This is week 8. Pretend he's great. All right. Here we are. Week 8 begins with February 19th's question. What is the perfect Demon song in the Kiss catalog? What makes this track win over all the others? So, because it's Demon song and not Gene song, we're thinking, what really typifies the character, not necessarily the songwriter. There'd be way too many answers. So for us, it kind of comes down to 2 of Gene's most demonic offerings, God of Thunder and Almost Human.
What about Unholy?
Unholy is very demonic. Man, see, I'm glad you're here.
See,
sometimes flying solo can be a real drag, and you just need a co-host.
I just thought of that. And, just right, bang.
We're probably it's the curse of being the 70s Kiss dudes.
Yeah, it's like we don't think all the way.
All the way. Don't do it.
Don't eat potatoes. Well, it's got to be God of Thunder. I mean,
yeah. Who are we kidding?
Last episode it was the heaviest, and it is the most demonic.
Almost Human really has some great. That's a really cinematic. I think honestly, as far as like just for me personally, creating the video in my head.
Gene would probably say "Calling Dr. Love" on his, because he wrote it.
And it is, but I mean the lyrical themes. That's just it's not evil enough. It's a perfect Demon song. It's questions like these that I want Rick here to clarify. Like I assume I can make a safe assumption as to what he meant, and I'm sure he'll chime in the comments.
And what makes this track win above all the others? The fact that God of Thunder freaking rocks. And it's like And like I said, if you listen to Destroyer through headphones, you'll understand.
Yeah. Well, in that had their demonic moment that pan
Sweet pain.
pain.
Makes it
man,
feel
boy,
like Gene's tongue's going through your head.
Boy, the first time you listen to Destroyer on headphones. You sound a lot like
I'm gonna vomit.
No, it sounds like Krusty the Clown. Like Krusty just missed the bus or something. But yeah, I mean, like I was saying about Almost Human, like I make a really cool, like the video in my head for that song is a lot creepier probably than, it's just got more of a horror movie aspect than God of Thunder. I don't know why. I just was in a different, headspace a year and change later. Man, it's so weird to think about that, like think about like I feel like I had matured or grown or something. I was still a snot-nosed kid when those records came out, but the way I pictured Gene in my head from Destroyer to Love Gun, man, that's a big old chunk of time.
Absolutely,
it's weird.
Rock and Roll Over was right in the middle.
so I guess we're gonna answer February 19th's question with God of Thunder. Seems fair. February 20th. Should there have been a third Kiss comic from Marvel, a Marvel Super Special Kiss number 3? Write a story synopsis below of what you wish that comic had been. So what's your take?
I mean, yes, there should have been. They could have rode that all the way up until 79-ish. They could have even introduced the Fox and brought in the whole. They could have done way more. And I think, but as far as like writing one, I'm so out of the comic genre that, I mean,
yeah.
I've never gotten to look at the first two, so I would like to know what they were facing.
You never had the
comics. I've seen them.
Oh shit!
Never seen them except for just like stills from what they've shown.
Man, we'll have to have a night for that.
Yeah,
or an hour at least.
Comic night.
Yeah. Yeah. I recently got a copy with the poster, which is awesome. Man, got to get these posters up around this house. I got a lot of showing, a lot of telling to do.
Absolutely. Take it.
My take on this is, yeah, they should have, could have, but it makes you wonder, like, why they didn't. I mean, there was just, the machine was in, running full bore. They had the movie. They probably just had too many potential plans going on in Kiss World.
Too many irons in the fire.
Yeah, too many irons in the fire.
It's like the movie and the solo albums, and things were coming apart at that point in Kiss land.
Yeah.
All was not well. So it's like, I mean, but for somebody to sit down and do story panels and whatnot, it really probably didn't take that much involvement from the band.
I wonder if too, maybe the sales figures for the second comic like trailed off hard, and Marvel just wasn't it. For any of you comic book nerds out there, if you've got some inside baseball, again, fill the comment section with conjecture and wild rumor, whatever you see fit. I can separate the wheat from the chaff there. But as far as my story synopsis of what Super Special 3 would be, I mean, I want some Doctor Strange. I mean, Doctor Strange was like one of my favorite comics of all time was the super special team up with Spider-Man and Doctor Strange. I would have loved to seen, you know, more of Kiss with Doctor Strange, but I think you could have easily, without too much work, without writing, storyboarding, you could have basically turned Phantom into a comic book. I think that would have been the best way to go.
They kind of did in the Scooby-Doo.
Yeah,
in a way they did.
And I remember, and it was, I will not say disappointed because it was an awesome magazine, but when I got the Kiss Meets the Phantom magazine, that's what that's kind of what I thought I was getting. And yeah, it's not that, for those of you who don't have it, it's
I
more
used to have it with the photos from them shooting the movie.
Yeah, and interviews, okay. And yeah. But yeah, I think Marvel could have they could have adapted that, easily adapted Kiss Meets the Phantom. So that's what I think they should have done. And like you said, they could have done 3, 4, 5, 6.
They could have wrote it until the money ran out.
Yeah, until comics quit selling. February 21st, when you first heard Dynasty and Unmasked, did you realize Peter Criss was not playing drums on the record, minus Dirty Livin'? And does his absence make a difference to you?
Well, yeah, the first part, I did not realize that Peter was no longer playing in Kiss, but I did notice that the drums sounded different, meaning the snare sound. It didn't have that same snare sound that I was used to from Love Gun and Alive 2, that I thought was Peter's sound. And I did notice that the drums sounded different, and I had just attributed it to the fact that maybe Peter changed his snare sound.
I love the fact that you picked up on that and I didn't, and I'm the drummer. Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't. So much of this stuff, you take at face value. I didn't notice, and I didn't really think of it as a drum sound per se. I didn't notice Dynasty. Dynasty was just such a juggernaut. It was just too much. It was like, I don't know, the sensory overload of the return of Kiss, and then, finding out, like, when I got tickets and realized I was going to see Kiss, and but Unmasked, yeah, I did notice the sonic, that was the left turn sonically, but nevertheless, it didn't occur to me that that wasn't Peter.
I thought something was afoot when I heard Talk to Me for the first time, and then during the solo part where Ace is doing like just chords and like it's like a little drum solo thing in there, and I thought, whoa, he got it.
Yeah, it's a little odd.
Yeah, Talk to Me, that kind of, but I mean, shortly after I had heard that, People magazine came out with there was the Stop the Presses, Peter Criss quits Kiss, and then all of a sudden on People magazine there's Eric, and it's wow.
Yeah, so I mean, the absence can't make a difference if you don't know it's there. And for me, like, that was just before. I mean, by the time we moved to Missouri, Eric was already, Eric was already a full-fledged member of the band and everything. But yeah, like, even before the announcement of Peter's departure, um, I don't want to say that my Kiss fever was subsiding or whatever, but it was different. You know what I mean? After seeing the Dynasty tour, what that was like the climax. You know what I mean? So
Super
it's
Kiss.
just like, yeah, it's just like, okay. Then then you can sort of take a breath, and my perspective kind of shifted a little bit. But yeah, so no and no to both of those questions, pretty much for both of us. Okay, so February 22nd.
D-Man's birthday.
Oh my goodness. That's a guy we're going to have on the pod.
D-Man got to be on the pod.
Dr. Smooth Taste.
Dr. Smooth Taste.
Yeah, check our last episode, man. The dude came through with some Commentos. The fresh maker.
I'm going to say the same thing.
Jinx. Okay. February 22nd. What is your go-to track to introduce someone to Kiss? Why did you choose this song?
I can't think of a track. I would say Kiss Alive. I mean, if I was going to introduce somebody to Kiss, I'd have to play more than one song, and I would just, it would be like, you have to hear this. And it's at least side one in its entirety, and just to get the vibe.
Yeah, Alive, man.
And it's like,
too bad Alive isn't a song.
But I try to explain to people, it's like, man, we were 10 years old and they're 8 feet tall, blowing stuff up, looking like that.
Yeah.
That's, come on.
Yeah.
You gotta, when you're a kid and you see this, and there's John Denver and Linda Ronstadt, it's like, I'm going over here.
Yeah. The go-to track is I don't want to turn them off with it. So I would just have to, find something, if it's a girl who likes mellow stuff, she's going to get, Beth or Great Expectations or, so it's like that. But to answer the question, what is quintessential Kiss? If you want to just generally show somebody what this is representative of my band, it's got to be something off Alive.
I always liked the beginning of the movie Detroit Rock City, the part where the mom thinks she's putting on a John Denver album or something, and then I Stole Your Love starts and it's just
but that too, or and I'll never forget my friend, the first time I heard Rock and Roll Over, my new friend Ivan Moses dropped the needle on I Want You. And hearing that acoustic intro and being kind of, sparkly, this is Kiss. And then wow, so that's a good one to kick in the door.
I'm not gonna hit the table.
But yeah, the go-to track, I think we've established that our go-to album would be Alive, so more than likely it's going to be something off of that. All right, we're making short work of this. We are efficient in our week of rock and rolling all night and journaling every day. We are celebrating the fun in an efficient way.
It's about to get even more efficient because next question.
Next question. I'll throw it to you first, Powie. February 23rd. Name one piece of Kiss memorabilia you would never sell.
I don't have one.
If research fantasy answer, I guess to tailor it to you, it would be what would be the one thing that you want that you would be that would be sort of priceless, that you'd be bury me in my Kiss casket with this, or bury me with my Kiss casket. or my.
I mean, if I had something, maybe it would be like the tablecloth. I mean,
Do you want me to? Do you want me? If you should, God
Yeah.
forbid, you die before me, shall I use that as the shroud of Turin?
Shroud of Turin.
I'll like wrap you up in the tablecloth. I could do that. And ditto for me, just like wrap it around my face.
Yeah.
Put Paul's face right over my face. My answer, of course, would be the 1979 Bally pinball machine that will never leave me.
Will never leave you.
No.
You want it buried with that?
Bury me inside of it.
Maybe.
Put my ashes inside of it.
Okay.
No, I mean, yeah, I don't know who's gonna get that. In the event of my untimely demise, yeah, whoever gets the pinball machine is gonna get my ashes with it, probably. At least some of them. I don't know. It's I don't know. We're kind of taking it into like a deeper philosophical realm than something that we have.
Taking
that we
quite a
sell.
morbid turn.
We're both dead, and you can't have any of this shit. No, so there you go.
So you'd sell the dolls then?
Oh yeah.
How much?
I don't know.
Because I want
You want the dolls, you Mego
Okay.
guy?
I do.
So
I've always wanted them.
The muscular ones or the skinny ones? Did you know there are Mego variants?
I do. I did. I mean, I realized that. I think Kiss Army Warehouse had like some variants that
Dude,
from like '74 and stuff that are really cool looking.
did we talk about not long ago? Peter Arquette got a collection, and I think it was Kiss Museum, and he put it back online for 1 week only, and had a bunch of like like cool '70s shit, and not at stupid eBay prices either. Like, I mean, of course, stuff's pricey, but it was much more like reasonably market value type of thing.
Right.
I missed the boat on that, but it's probably for the best because
Exactly.
I need to hang on to some money.
Right.
It's good. Money is good. Kiss merch is good too, but everything in moderation, kids. February 24th. Is it important for your romantic partner to be a Kiss fan? Or is your Kiss fandom something you would rather not share? Let's ponder that for a minute. Why would you not want to share something like that with your romantic partner? It's mine. I'm a Kiss fan. You're not a Kiss fan. I don't know.
It'd be cool if she was, but not going to change the fact that I'm a Kiss fan. I mean, most of the partners that I've had didn't really care for Kiss that much.
My partner was not a Kiss fan. Every good partner tolerates what their spouse is into.
Right.
And like for instance, like, going to the last two shows in New York, he didn't go with me and but he totally support, he was happy that I was going, and I'd call home, both nights and catch him up and, tell him what had happened. And he was keenly interested because he knew that it was a bummer for me at the outset because Spirit Airlines fucked up my flight and I don't even want to get into that. There's pictures from that excursion, of course, and one of them is me and John Five and Joe Ellich, and I've got a streamer around some of the, the foil confetti, one of the streamers that came down at the end of the show. I had that long piece of that around my neck. When I came home, I snipped it off, and I gave some to Bud, and he put it in a like a hat box that had a bunch of ephemera, like all the movies we'd gone to, and just little keepsakes and stuff like that. And he passed away almost a year ago. And in going through that, it was cool to see that he had kept that, piece of that foil streamer. And I naturally I thought of that, and I thought of him when I read this entry for the 24th. He wasn't a Kiss fan. He wasn't a hater, but the fact that he supported a lot of my craziness, and I mean, the things that we could have had for our home, and for me to drop that much coin on a pinball machine, he didn't gripe about it, so
that's good.
So I was, I'm happy to share that. That was good. That was good stuff. Our final question for the week is also a very similar interpersonal kind of vibe. February 25th asks, who is your Kiss best friend? List your favorite Kiss-related things you've done together. And what kind of dick would I be if I did not say, Powie?
Fido.
That we're the dudes.
That's it, man.
We can geek out on this shit at the drop of a hat.
As we are doing right now.
As we often do.
As we often do. It's, yeah, man. And as far as, I only got to see one show with you, and that was New Year's Eve, 1998 on the Psycho Circus, and I didn't get to ride with you guys, but I do remember
refresh my... Take it back to the beginning of that night, because
taking pictures at the Bauhaus in the living room, and Kendra was with us, and it's like, you can't be in this. You're a girl. You can't be in Kiss. That was funny.
I have such a... As bad as Brian is about hanging on to Kiss memorabilia, I am bad about remembering stuff that we did. And so, like, elaborate, like, who we took, what we do. We took a little caravan.
I think Tim was there. I didn't get to ride with you guys. I rode with the D-Man. Him and I went, and we were on the floor. I remember that. I don't know where you guys were.
I believe we were on the floor as well. And I think it was like me and Jim and like Eric.
I know it was Tim Flynn. I don't think Jim was with us.
I see. That is so weird, but that's the thing. I've been to more than one Kiss show with Jim. Jim is our guitarist in our in moving on to the fave Kiss related things we've done. Probably the favoritist was starting a tribute band.
Yeah. Wow.
Drums.
I forgot all about that.
Drums, vocals. Jim was our guitarist. We had a couple of different bass players. But was Coggins? Man, it's just like I said. I
just know that Tim was with us, and we were taking pictures in the living room, and Kendra was there. I don't know if she went to the show, but she was getting in the pictures and doing the Gene tongue, and it's like, you can't be in Kiss, you're a girl. I remember that.
Maybe she didn't even go. Maybe she didn't even go to the show.
I don't even know. It was. I remember it was fun, and it was the weather was bad. It was like snowing and stuff. It was New Year's Eve.
And I do, and this is kind of, I don't know if this is like a cause or effect of why my memory is so bad. Maybe I sort of like leave it up to what I write, but I've kept a journal off and on since 1985. And so I'm sure I could go back into my journal for that year, and I'm sure I would have taken the time to write down what happened. But see, this is kind of the thing. It's funny the way I approach this particular journal, especially when I've got Powie as a co-host. I like to keep it loose and spontaneous and just riff on stuff.
Yeah.
Rather than and plus, man, I'm always busy, and ideally I'd go downstairs and I'd pull up my journals and I really think, ponder these questions well in advance, and I try to, do the homework but maybe I make a note to myself tonight, and maybe I dig up and maybe I just do a little postscript to February 25th. Maybe I don't do it at all. Maybe I just sit here and blow smoke about it. But what are some other some fun Kiss moments that we've had? I mean, gosh, there's been so many of them,
Well, I mean, a lot of the stuff we did not get to do together. I mean, a lot of them, like D-Man's my second best Kiss friend because I've seen every Kiss show that I've seen except for Dodger Stadium.
Yeah, well, and you guys, that's the thing.
We've seen every
Powie
show.
was in California for
30 years.
For damn near 30 years.
So I didn't get to go to the Kiss conventions and the stuff that you guys did here that I didn't,
And I just heard, obviously I just heard Dodger Stadium as a story,
That was nuts.
But it doesn't even have to be necessarily concerts or whatever. I
mean, the band,
just some of the general,
the Great X,
just
Sweet
the general
stuff,
geekery and playing shows. And
I mean, I remember I had a video cassette copy of Phantom, and I think we'd go over and watch it.
I think didn't we?
Go to Roy's or
I was gonna say we went to Roy's one time
and watched Phantom.
Yeah,
and that was cool.
Yeah, back when there was still a novelty aspect to Phantom,
Right.
That was around the time Roy had that Japanese dubbed copy of Rocky Horror.
I remember watching that there too.
Vaguely remember. We used to get fucked up. Boy, the misspent youth, the substances, the liquids, the good times.
For the good times.
Kiss. All right, so does that take us to the end of our program? In fact, it does. What are we celebrating here?
A year-long guide to
celebrating the fun of being a Kiss fan. I want you to put your two lips together, kiss that subscribe button. And what's the advice we're going to give them yet again this week, Brian?
Play hard.
Play fair.
Nobody hurt.